guys.
Hey, what's up, my friends?
Welcome to Conscious Nutrition, episode number 29.
I think it's 29. It could be 30, but I'll double check.
Yeah, we might have lost track a little bit.
Yeah.
Either way, we're happy that you're here. We are talking exercise and nutrition today. Anything
In your metabolism.
in your metabolism, obviously. And we are filming both. We're live on both Facebook and Instagram.
So if you see us here, Facebook, here, Instagram, smaller Instagram, screen. That's just how Instagram works. And of course, Facebook. So we're all over the place. You'll see our eyes move. Just realize we're streaming on both to meet your needs at 12 p.m. Pacific Coast time every week.
Why not talk to more of you if we have the opportunity?
Yeah.
Right? So, yes, we're talking exercise and metabolism. A couple things that we want to cover before we get started. I think Josh, at some point, will attach all the links for you at the bottom.
Yeah, this is for the Facebook people. I'll put it in the comment section after we go live. The links to our Restoration Thyroid audio series, which is a 7-part audio series on how to heal your adrenals or thyroid with food. It's a great foundational piece, and this is where everyone who listens to our work, finds our work, is interested in our work, should start. Okay? And as well, something new we have attached over the past maybe month is your Simple Ways to Assess Thyroid Health Guide. So that's included in that subscription. So definitely subscribe to that when you click on the link in the comment section.
Lots of great tools to get you started.
Second thing is an opportunity to set up your free 15-minute consultation. I mean, obviously, we talk to a lot of people. What people are doing is not working, right? You're here for a reason. And most people have questions, so it can't hurt to chat, to listen to our philosophy, and maybe how we might be able to get you off that vicious cycle that you're on and onto that healing path.
Yeah.
For people on Instagram, those 2 links that I just talked about, if you go to the link that's the only link that's in your profile, and you click on that, you'll see the Restoration Thyroid audio series. You'll see a list of things, and then you'll see a link for the 15-minute consultation. So those are both in the link on Instagram. So I think this is something we wanted to talk about. Once again, the purpose of these is not to lecture seminar. Of course, sometimes you go deep and sometimes you don't, but we really do it based off what people are asking of us about, what people are talking about, what people are confused about.
And common conversations that we have with our clients.
Yeah.
Obviously, when we do nutrition, as you guys know, we're looking at much more than just what they're eating. We're looking at how they're responding to everything. So we do assess, again, exercise, post-exercise nutrition, pre-exercise nutrition, recovery, all these different things that need to help us become more aware, help our clients become, or all of us really, more aware of whether or not the exercise we're doing is supporting our healing process or driving us deeper into the dysfunction that we're in.
Right.
So that's really the goal, is to meet somewhere right in the middle where you're getting the opportunity to move your body in a way that supports you both physically and emotionally.
Right. So this was kind of sparked by, I work out, I like working out. Depending on how I feel, I like to work out. I don't work out to get big or to get small. I work out to move and do the movements and challenge myself with some of the movements that are more challenging for me. And I posted a video and someone said, isn't that bad for thyroid health? So that sparked this, and it's something we wanted to talk about first because I think a lot of people believe in black and white. So no matter how you slice it, exercise is a stress, right? And as Hans Hillier said, it's not stress that kills us, it's how we react to it. And I think that's really important to remember. So when we look at that, we always have to think about the person, the healing state they're in, their response to the exercise, how they live their life, all these different things that are going to dictate if that exercise is going to be a stress to the point where it moves them away from that healing state, right?
And one of the common trends that I find speaking with my clients is that they want to be able to do, and I have found myself in the same exact position, they want to be able to do what they used to be able to do. Right? And what we're really looking at is not to not do it. Like Josh says, it's not a matter of eliminating the exercise completely. It's about finding where you are. Again, becoming more familiar with where you are in your healing process and meeting your body where it is. So that in and of itself can be a kind of a challenging space because you're like, ugh, I can't do what I used to be able to do. You know, you get stuck in that ego a little bit. So again, we want to highlight some of the ways that you can begin to determine what.
I was just talking to a client the other day. She has 2 kids, and we're working with food and the logging right now, and it's overwhelming. And she wanted to start moving again, and I said, well, we have to kind of explore that. You know, I can tell you what I think you're able to do, but it comes down to temps and pulses, how you feel, how your body is responding, how you're supporting it, etc., how you're recovering. You know, and I said, you know, what do you want to do? She's like, well, I used to run. I want to be able to run again. You know, well, are we talking like a 100-meter run? Or are we talking like, 26 miles? And she's like, I just want to be able to go jog like a mile or 2 or 3 miles for fun. I said, well, let's just start with walking. Like, how do you feel? You told me you're stressed. You have the 2 kids. It's hard logging the grams. Start walking. So she did it. We talked. And she said, I think that's literally all I can handle right now. And I think, so for someone like that, that walking is almost like running to her physiology, and it's meeting the body where it's at. And that's the most important thing, because I think that's going to get us to the running. And the mistake most people make is the second you start feeling good, you go right to the running again, right? And I think that we have to think about who we are, where we've come from, and what is going on right now in order to get there. Just like you work with your food and you go through these different phases, you have to do the same thing with exercise, because what are we trying to do? We're trying to get the body away from compensation and more towards adaptation.
Right. And that was kind of along the lines of where I was going, or what I wanted to say, is that you have to, we know that hypothyroidism or low thyroid function or chronic stress equals energy deficit, period. So when you're pushing your body to do more when you're already in an energy deficit, again, it could be working very much against you. And then you're kind of just, you're beating your head against the wall.
And this is why I think most people, if we go kind of into it, I think most people are overtraining. You might not feel like you're overtraining, right? You say, I go to the gym and I just do weights and cardio. Or I just go do cardio. Or I go for a light jog, or whatever you do. But you always have to look at your body. And there's a lot of things to look at. And this is the thing. Most people are going to work every day, right? Whether you're sedentary or not, most people's jobs are a big stress. That stress has an impact on your nervous systems, right? Your CNS, when it comes to glucose, your autonomic nervous system, it's going to dictate whether you're in that fight or flight state all day, or if you're in that freeze state, depending on where you work or what you do for a living. So in a sense, your physiology is working out, let's just say, all day. You're going from that aerobic state, which means using oxygen efficiently, into that anaerobic state, that more stress state. You're not using oxygen efficiently. You're releasing stress hormones. You're breaking down tissues to provide energy, because maybe you're not storing that energy appropriately, which most people are not, and that's another thing, right? We're not eating in a way to allow our body to store energy so we can use it and have it be replenished by the way we live and the way we eat. So that's another issue. And then we say, well, I work all day, so I'm going to get up at 4 a.m. and work. Or I'm going to work out at 6 p.m.
But I can't sleep.
So what's happening is your physiology is working out all day, and then you go work out. So is that workout really benefiting you? No, it's actually becoming a huge stress to the system, because what you're doing is your body's being hardwired to be in that, let's say, fight or flight state, that compensatory state all day, because maybe you're a lawyer, maybe you work in the military, maybe you're whatever you do. A lot of people's jobs.
Sedentariness of your job
exactly.
Is enough of a stress.
It could be anything. You drive an hour and a half to work, an hour and a half home. All these different things shape what our nervous system is. It creates a story. It creates a map, right? So it pushes us more and more into that heightened, alarmed, sympathetic state. Now the parasympathetic becomes almost not even in the picture. And we keep doing that over time, and then we go to the gym. We keep doing it. We're more tired. We're eating less. We're working out more. What are we doing? We're pushing our body into that compensatory state. And then we wonder why we can't lose weight. Wonder why our hormones are imbalanced. Wonder why we can't sleep. Wonder why we need more supplements than food.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the bottom line is it comes down to, number one, how you're living and how you're not supporting your system, but what is going on with your physiology throughout the day, and then you're just repeating that at work, right? So how you train has to be dictated by what your day is like, but how you feel. Now, and this is where, I don't know if you want to add something before we go into this.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's relevant to what we're talking about. I mean, my only point that I wanted to make was that we're talking about exercise, but I also want to highlight or just bring into the conversation the other things that we're doing during the day. So if you're out at the beach, or
Right.
you're in the hot sun, or you're at the ballpark for a certain amount of time because your kids have t-ball or baseball all day long, or whatever the case may be, these are energy drainers as well, right? So I think just to make sure that you're making that connection on your day-to-day.
Yeah.
Because
even yoga. People, I did restorative yoga, but here's the thing, right? And this what you said is really important. It is relative. Because, and this is relevant. What did I say?
Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Oh, I said relative.
Well, it's the same thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the same thing as relevant. This is where most people that listen to us or hear our work or read our work get things really confused. They think that we're saying because these things are going on in your life, you can't work out and you can't move. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, even though people might be doing things to help their body, like yoga, but you're in that sympathetic state all day and you go to yoga, right? And you're really not aware, you're just doing it, you're still in that sympathetic state. Even though you're doing something that's supposed to be very parasympathetic, your body is in a state is in a different state. So you're really not getting the benefit. Same thing when you go to the exercise, you're just pushing it deeper. So really what we're saying is this. Number one, be aware of what's going on in your life and what you're doing. Are you able to handle what you're doing? And are there signs there showing you you're not? But also, what we're trying to do with our philosophy, whether it be with food, whether it be with breath work, is teach people how to support their body where it is with food and lifestyle modification and even breath work, to prep their body and support their body to handle their day, handle their workout, and recover so it becomes less of a stress, right?
The goal is to do what you need to do and do what you love to do without compromising you in the end.
And sometimes you have to kind of move backwards to move a little forward, but that's exactly what we're trying to teach people. We're not saying you can't go do CrossFit. We're not saying you can't go do yoga or you can't run. Some people might have to rewind a bit because it's a little stressful. What we're saying is, over time, consistently, if you're eating the right foods and the right frequency, and really what you're doing is regulating your blood sugar throughout the day, and you're creating balance within your nervous system, and you're adapting to the stress at work, and you're aware of that, and you take time out during the day to maybe do some breath work, or just take time out to go outside and bring yourself back down, that when you go to work out, number one, you're going to be more aware of what your body needs. So maybe you feel tired, so what you were going to do is change and adapt it to. But if not, you're able to handle what you're doing because you have that support with food or breath work or whatever it is, because now you're in more of a balanced state.
Right. I was just going to say, I'm going to talk about myself for just a second because it just brought up a memory of going to the gym the other day and Harrison didn't sleep, I think, for 3 nights in a row. And it was a gym day, and I wanted to go, and
Like
I felt
not
it.
sleep.
And I literally went into the Group X room and laid on a mat and closed my eyes and did breath work. And then I got up and I went home.
God.
That was it.
I was at home with him. He didn't nap. That's not fair. I'm scared.
But I just, it happens to all of us. We all have to make those adaptations.
That is funny. I mean, we were literally sleeping, and it was like 2 in the morning. All of a sudden, we hear our son having a full-on conversation with the stuffed animals. It was an insane 3 days.
Awesome, but it was crazy. But anyway, kind of back to you guys.
So it's being aware.
Yeah.
Like, maybe she does work out, but maybe that day she doesn't go, I'm not going to work out. I'm just going to go home And for some people, they want that space, and it's important. They like it. So she goes and she lays down. It's one day, but you're meeting your body where it's at. Or maybe she did do her workout. She felt a little bit more energetic.
There was actually a day last week that I did 2 sets instead of 4.
Right. You alter the sets, or you alter the intensity, or you alter your rest periods. Or maybe you let your breath just dictate the intensity. So you breathe through your nose the entire time, and you can only work out to the point that you can. So let's say, even if you're doing bodybuilding, it doesn't matter that you're working out and you have to mouth breathe. Now we know that you're going into that different energy system. You're going from that aerobic state at the cell level into that anaerobic state at the cell level. So you have to pull back, depending on what you're doing, whether it's rep, set, intensity, load, right? So
let's talk about some of the signs, and I don't know where you're going to go, but I want to highlight some of the signs that people will know that their exercise is not working for them.
Go ahead.
Well, I think, again, we're always looking at mood, energy, digestion, sleep.
I think sleep and mood and energy are huge ones.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even if you just scour the web, you look at symptoms of overtraining. It's fatigue and sleep issues.
Yeah. But a more direct, specific way of knowing whether or not you're recovering is, again, tracking some body temperature and pulses to see whether or not you're recovering. Your pulse is recovering, your temperature is recovering 30 to 40 minutes post-exercise.
Right.
And then, again, even into the following day. Because I wanted to make this point when Josh was talking about even restorative yoga. I have had clients that will go into restorative yoga when they clearly are in a compensated state. And then maybe they do sleep well that night because they did have some relief, but they don't poop for 3 days the following 3 days. You understand? So what you're doing on that one day can easily affect the days following without your awareness of it. And here you are again, I feel like this, it must be this food, it must be that food. Well, no, it was the exercise that you did 2 days ago, and now you're getting to see some level of your resiliency, right? And how your body is capable of recovering. So there's a lot of different ways that you have to look at that, but those are some of the main ways that we...
It depends on what vibes with you. Like HRV is really big right now, heart rate variability. It's just looking at the state of your nervous system. It's a guide. It's a qualitative guide. I don't think it's 100% accurate, but you could really just tune into your body and get the same result. Just depends if you want a qualitative versus a quantitative kind of differential.
And maybe you make a comparison.
Some people use body temperature and pulse. Some people use, some people that do breath work, I'll use my CO2 threshold. So I'll know, if my respiration feels off and I can't do, a breath hold that I typically do that's easy, in the morning, I know that my body is more towards that sympathetic state for some reason. And sometimes we don't always know the answer. And sometimes you don't need to know the answer. Right. What you need to know is the state of your body today is not in a state that it can do what it's designed to do. Right? So you can't do it. And you have to alter what you're doing. That's the bottom line. You don't go, well, maybe if I eat more food, or maybe if I do more breath work, or maybe if I take a nap, it's going to be ready. No, it's not ready. So you have to meet your body where it's at today. And that's the bottom line. So there's many ways to kind of identify, and that's a good point. It just comes down to what you want to use to kind of identify if you're ready to do the work you're doing, right? So there's a girl in CrossFit last night. I coach 2 nights a week. I enjoy it. I like coaching. And, she has a baby, and she came in. She's so tired and drained. And I said, just either do the whole workout at 70%, right? And we'll cap it, or just do half the amount of work. It doesn't make sense to push through it and say, I did it, right? Because it's going to become more of a stress. Right. Now, here's the thing. All exercise is not bad, because if we choose the right type, intensity and all these different things, to meet our body, and we're eating the right foods, and we're building our body up, and we're creating resiliency, and our body is in a good state, what are some of the benefits of exercise? Because there are benefits.
There's huge benefits. It's essential.
I think everyone has to move.
Movement is part of a human need. It's a human need. It pumps fluids. I mean, you know what I mean? It's it's necessary for us to move for motility and mobility.
Especially in this day and age.
Especially in this day and age. So we encourage exercise. We just don't want you to be compromising yourself further while you're doing it. And that is what we see on a daily basis, is that there is no level of awareness as to what the proper exercise is. And I can speak from my own experience. It's my ego playing 100%. And I think that is part of the bigger challenge, is overcoming our own beliefs or egos or whatnot. Because I mean, even though I can now sink into it a little bit more and be okay with it, because when I haven't done it and I've honored myself, the results are hugely different, you know? And that's when I really began to see weight actually come off. Because my body really began to heal, is because I wasn't continuously pushing it, driving it. So, I think I made my point.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what
I mean, we've both been there. Trust me. I've overtrained. I mean, you know, I'm able to tune into my body and know when I should pull back and maybe just do strict work for the day, or maybe just let my breathing dictate my movements, all these different things. And sometimes it takes that overtraining to teach us that lesson. But
so it's not about not doing it, but because there are a lot of benefits, which Josh is about to talk to us about.
I think a really important benefit is helping us not only store blood sugar, but replenish blood sugar. Remember that if we can't store blood sugar, right, we can't produce thyroid hormone. If we don't produce thyroid hormone, we can't produce energy, right? So now we're always going to be in a state of adaptation. So the interesting thing about exercise is, and this depends on the intensity, of course, is that when we're done moving, our body is very sensitive to insulin. And we can take advantage of this. We can take advantage of it for a few reasons. The first is to replenish glycogen stores. And that is really important. So post-workout, a lot of people wait an hour or two to eat. And this is why food frequency is so important to us. We want people to eat something more liquidy or soft post-workout that their body can digest very quickly, but also we can get that maybe more, or let's say you're taking in more carbs post-workout, so we can take advantage of that insulin sensitivity and get sugar into the cells, get sugar into the liver, and restore and replenish what we used up. And secondly, we can use food to replenish those stores to blunt those catabolic hormones that inhibit thyroid health, right? And this is what leads people to overtraining and fatigue, or all these issues, because they don't replenish their glycogen stores, and then they go into that stress state, and they start breaking down their body, et cetera, et cetera.
And most are utilizing macronutrients in a way that over time is going to lead to that anyway, in addition to the chronic stressors. But I also want to talk about even pre-exercise nutrition, because again, if you've eaten maybe at 12 and you're going to exercise at 4, and you have an energy storing issue, you have a hard time storing glycogen in your liver, you're going to now go into that workout in a deficit, which is going to make it a lot more difficult for you to recover. So again, paying attention and spending some time tracking yourself and tracking your patterns and seeing what you're going into, so it allows you to dictate what that level of exercise is going to be, and then tracking yourself post to see if you are applying the proper nutrition to meet that goal, or the exercise needs to be modified.
It's going to be different for everyone. Some people need a pre-workout meal like an hour before they work out, something light that you can break down, whether it's yogurt, gelatin, and fruit, or eggs and fruit. Some people that we work with need a little bit of intra-workout support. Not everyone does when you're kind of a little bit past that healing place. And everyone needs a post-workout support mechanism. Now, let's say you just went rock climbing. I don't think people are going to need like an intra-workout support. It's more pre and post, you know, versus someone that said, well, you know, I'm working out again, and I'm you know, doing 400-meter sprints or something a little more intense. You might need that intra-workout support. So it looks different for everyone. So don't overload your system with nutrition where it's not needed. I think the second benefit is when we use it correctly, it really helps us, because of that replenishment and the blunting of stress hormones. When we use food correctly around our nutrition, we're able to upregulate oxidative metabolism, and that is key. That puts us in a more metabolic state. It allows us to not only increase thyroid hormone conversion, but it allows us to produce more mitochondria, which allows us to produce more energy. So essentially, we're in a very energy-producing state versus a fat-storing state. And this is important. And this is if we use exercise correctly. And the third would be, of course, these kind of all go together. You know, when we're working out, we're doing it correctly. We're in this adaptation state. We're able to build muscle versus, you know, store fat.
Yeah, that's right.
And versus, like Jeannie said, breaking it down. So muscle is more metabolically active than fat, right? So what are we doing now? Through the right type of movement, we're building muscle. And when we do that, we actually increase the mitochondria, the energy-producing parts of the cell in our body. So now we're able to use that energy to produce more energy, and it makes us more metabolic, right? Which can lead to weight loss, increased vitality. And we gain the benefits of working out. They're not so much of a stress anymore.
And you get to enjoy it, exactly. You know that when
you're
going
good.
to the gym, you're right on. You have everything that you need, and what you're doing is actually going to get you where you want to go in that workout instead of, again, beat you down. Right. Where most people, again, what we constantly see. So, right. And have experienced.
Yeah.
Sure.
And of course, to some people that, like, you know, for some people it is beneficial. You know, I don't think everyone needs to do it, but it is beneficial to do some breath work after, because of course you have pushed yourself a little sympathetic, and everyone thinks it has to be cool and crazy, and it really doesn't. The best thing you can do post-workout for breathing, whether it's in your car while you're driving, laying down, taking a walk around the building after your workout, doesn't matter what you're doing, is just breathing through your nose. In your nose, out your nose, no breath holds, trying to control your breath, take control of the brain, slow the exhale down, slow the inhale down, not to the point where you're struggling, right? But just slowing it down to a nice rhythm. Maybe you start and it's like a 1 second in, 1 second out, and you notice over the next 5 minutes, you get it up to like a 3, 4, 5, or 6 inhale, 6 exhale. What you're doing now is you're beginning to create balance with a sympathetic inhale, parasympathetic exhale. And it's that simple. It doesn't have to be crazy, right? And of course, there's other things you can do, but that's just a little bit extra. So, we want to open it up for some questions. Do you have anything else to add, or? Does anyone have any questions on Facebook or Instagram regarding exercise and metabolism or nutrition or anything regarding that?
Yeah, if you guys do, you can always come back and leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
We will definitely make sure to answer it.
If you're watching this on the playback and you have questions, put them in the comment section or just send us a message. We will easily post and answer your question if you weren't able to get to this live. Did we have any questions? Let's see. We have a lot of waves, a lot of thumbs up. No questions
today. Wow.
That's okay. All right. So.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it for today.
Hey, guys. Our schedules are changing just a little bit, so we'll kind of update you on that, either on Facebook or via email.
We're going to be moving this to every other week.
Yeah.
For a few reasons. Time,
scheduling more than
scheduling issues, but we will be posting videos on Instagram and Facebook. And Instagram, I forget the name of it now. Whatever. Not in the stories, the new feed. Instagram TV, as well as Facebook videos. We'll be posting stuff every week to get out to you guys, but we'll be doing these live shows every other week. And we'll let you know via our list and social media when that's going to take place. So, all
right, guys. Have a great day.
All right, guys. Have a good rest of the day. We will talk to you later.